going on, people? We are back with another episode of All Jokes Aside, man. I am here with one of my big homies, one of the funniest mans. I love you, bro. I don't know about everybody else, but I got nothing but love for you, man. You might have seen him on BT Comic View. You might have seen him on Who Got Jokes or whatnot, and you might have seen him just in your neighborhood, man. Y'all get up for my man Marlon Randolph. What's going on, bro? How you doing, baby? Yeah, get a clap.
I know you didn't want me to do that.
No, I'm with it. I like the energy, baby. I like the energy, man. I like just
that Arsenio Hall shit, man.
That's it, man. So Marlon, real quick, man. For people that probably don't know you, where you from and what's going on? What's up?
I am originally, man, I was born in Mobile, Alabama. I'm a Southern boy. My mother moved to Detroit, Michigan when I was young. And I've been in Detroit all the way up until 2002 when I came to Brooklyn, New York. So I'm a Southern boy with Midwest upbringing, now with Northeast, East Coast flavor. Holla.
No, you definitely flaved up. Matter of fact, what I liked about you, your grown man picture you sent me for the promo. No, listen. You got a nice picture, bro. I like that picture. I was like, yo, I don't know if you're a comedian or a lost R&B singer, but boy, that was a nice picture, man.
I appreciate it. You know, I took that picture, man, and I used to dye my hair, bro. So for like 10 years, I was doing that Beijing. You know, guys walking around with the 10W40 all in their face. But the problem is when you have all that 10W40, it don't really match the wrinkles in your face, and you start to look retarded. So I needed to make sure some gray was in there to match my skin, because once you pass 40, your skin ain't smooth no more. It start looking a little rough unless you're taking bubble baths with sea salt and shit. But I ain't ready for that, so I said, let me just let the gray grow, and I'll do the bubble baths at 50. You know what I mean?
No, I feel you. I ain't gonna front, man. Like I'm looking forward to getting my little salt and pepper beard, bro. I'm looking forward.
Oh, word?
No, for real. I think bitches like it. I'm not gonna lie. Bitches really like the salt and pepper. Let's just be real. Like that is nice, man. Like when you got it good. Like I've been trying to bribe my dad to keep his beard. He cut it. Like my dad been battling cancer, so he had lost all his hair, except for like his eyebrows and eyelashes. But then when he stopped with the chemo, his beard, I was like, dog, nigga, you kidding? He's like, man, he was watching videos on YouTube. Hey, man, send him, hey, man, you got to do this to get your beard right. And it looked good on him. I like it on the nice little salt pepper because you look grown, man. Y'all look grown.
I appreciate it. How old is your daddy?
My dad just turned 60, man. Just turned 60.
Okay, so he's 12 years older than me. All right, that's interesting. Yeah, all right, yeah, man. Yeah, it's coming, bro. It's coming. Don't worry. Don't rush it. I thought the dude you was with last time was your daddy. The one with that you was at the show with in Jersey.
Nah, that's my man. That's my homie, man. That's hilarious. Shout out to comedian Rock, man. Nah, that's my homie, man. He a good, real good brother. He y'all actually close in age. He up that way somewhere.
I know. I'm just fucking. I knew he was a comic and shit. He went up that night. I just wanted to fuck with you a little bit, cause that's what I do.
Yeah, that's how it be, man. Like, nah, definitely, that's my man. He a good dude, man. But nah, man, I want when I get my joint, I'm gonna keep. I got in my hair. Oh man, it's all in there. It's just not as it's in there like y'all's, but it's in there.
Are you coloring your hair?
Never. I'm not gonna do that shit. No.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, man. Yeah, okay, yeah, do it, man. When you get that change, you see that picture behind me? I don't look like that dude no more. So I said, let me embrace it. That's why you got that Earth, Wind, and Fire shot.
Yeah. I definitely got that, man. I definitely got that. So let me hit you with another question, man. Like, this is one of my favorite questions. That you ever seen the movie? Was that Loving? I'm not Loving Basketball. Brown Sugar.
I did.
Okay, and she had a question on there, like when you fall in love with hip hop. I kind of remixed that question. And like, when did you fall in love with stand-up comedy? Even if it's just watching it or actually you doing it, when did you fall in love with it?
That's a good question, man. I don't think I ever fell in love with stand-up comedy. I love, you know what, man? Because stand-up comedy is different for me. Like, it's different for everybody. I really do love the power of being able to seize the moment and have people listen to you, whether it's poetry, rapping, whatever it is. That's why all that shit is the same, really. You got Def Poetry Jam. Some of those same guys that rap, even Smokey Robinson went on Def Poetry Jam, because it's the same element of power, creativity, and rhythm. So for me, I love to create. I love to sit back and go, okay, I talk to myself a lot and I go, okay, this will be good. I should record this. But when I was coming up, you didn't have all these social medias where you could do shit like that. You had to get a big ass camcorder that was this size, hire a nigga, get a tripod from Radio Shack that was $200. And by the time you finished recording it, you had to then download it. And then by the time you downloaded it, I mean, the process was so crazy, my dude, that it was like, it turned you off from recording yourself at all. So you would just go to comedy clubs and tape your sets. And the clubs would tape it and charge you $8, $10 for your own tape. And then you take the VHS, take it home and show everybody you're doing stand-up on the VCR, and then ship that shit all over the place to try to get some type of play on comedy clubs. But now, this shit wide open. You can take a thought, I'm putting it like what you doing. I'm taking a thought, I'm putting it out there. So I would say, man, I started 1995. I would say I fell in love when I moved to New York because I didn't realize you could make that kind of money. I made a lot of money when I moved here, and I was talking my own. I was being myself and not getting punished for it. You know what I mean when I say that? Like, we get punished for our culture. Like, whenever we talk the way you and I talking, if you get, like how you just said, I got 6 kids. You know how these niggas are. You can't say that in corporate America. You can't say that in the school, because then they're going to punish you for using, they go quote unquote N-word. So when you being able to be yourself and get paid for it and control your destiny and pay people to while you at it, that's when I fell in love with stand-up. And I would say that shit was around 2002 up until about 2012. Then I fell out of love with that shit. You know what I mean? But, you know, I won't tell you that part unless you want that story. You know what I mean?
No, we're gonna get into the meat and potatoes. I'm gonna ask a little deeper question. You could definitely get into that. But I feel what you're saying, man. Like I'm always been a person of just say what you want to say, keep it as long as you keeping it real and keeping it 100, and fuck what everybody else think. That's how I feel. I mean,
Black men get punished for keeping it 100 though.
No, definitely. We definitely do. Even in your
unless
household.
Unless you Dave Chappelle or Chris Rock, and even they get punished. Chris Rock said he want to see white women crying next to Reverend Al Sharpton like black mothers, and they went after him hard. So he was able to take that because he's already rich. But if you definitely ain't already rich, you can't take them hits.
Yeah, now you right. You ain't lying about that shit. You definitely right about that.
They control, unless you're in a position of power, man, and money, you can't be on no I don't give a fuck. If you can, but if you do it, you gotta be okay with not having shit. And if you ain't got shit, that means you can't be out there talking about I want to have kids and support my kids, but you want the freedom of the First Amendment. We don't have the same luxuries, man, that our fellow Americans have who have the First Amendment. They can say what they want with no consequences. We can't say what the fuck we want. People look at videotapes of us getting killed. First thing they do, man, is look at what you did wrong to justify why you should die. That's a problem in itself. You should already be upset that a person died. Then look at, man, I hate they did that. They look at first, what did you do? So they can feel good walking away with the fact that you did die.
Man, nah, you definitely speaking the truth, brother. You definitely ain't speaking the truth. You ain't lying. And I like that, man. I like that, you know, we get to express ourselves amongst each other and stuff like that too. Like, you know, that's good or whatever. And we need that, especially as black men, we definitely need to be able to express. Because, I mean, sometimes I feel like we attack that in the street, even when we get home sometimes, like with your family and stuff. And it's not, you know, on purpose, but it just, everybody is attacked in different ways. And that's
well,
how
you know what? Well, you know what, bro? As long as you turn on the TV and you turn on a movie and you see a black guy, pick any movie and I'm going to show you how his character is a fucked up character and why you and I resemble that character, which is why those images are important. Any movie you pick, I can tell you. There's a movie, man, where Kevin Costner is raising a little black girl. And the reason he's raising this little black girl because her black daddy ain't shit. Now, Kevin Costner produced this movie. What do you think happens when a movie like that going to silver screen and everybody watch it? You know what I mean? Black women walk away from that movie and go, that was a good movie. But when they get pregnant, what do you think play in their heads?
Yeah,
the black daddy ain't shit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
Bill Cosby was the only motherfucker, man, to take the chance and put up a black daddy. And that's why it was important to put his ass under the jail. Facts.
Oh, you ain't lying. Oh, you definitely telling the truth on that.
Facts.
He was the only one that, showed us in a good light, even with the
in a good light. Esther
Yeah.
Rose said that she got in trouble with CBS because when they wanted her to do the show, they didn't want her to have a husband. They wanted to have her as a single black woman with kids, with no daddy. And she went to them and said, my kids need to have a father. And they almost got rid of her ass because she demanded her kids have a father on national TV. Good times, my nigga. XYZ.
No, definitely. And you know what? They don't even do that no more. Like, I haven't really seen the show in a long time with like a black dad. Well, Blackish. That's about it. But that's not the same type of sitcom like what we used to. But
right,
really, like it's not other than that. I can't really think of another show that a black dad is out doing, being a good father or a good husband to his kids.
What's a good father though? Who defines a good father? A good father is a dude that provide and protect. George Jefferson provide and protect. That nigga owned cleaners. John Amos, he may not have a stable job, but they somehow seem to stay together in that little 2-bedroom apartment in the projects. So what's a good dad? We allow them to even tell us what's a good father. What is a good father, my nigga?
No, I feel you. I mean, I feel you because I feel like that sometimes too. Like, man, my wife be wanting me to do more with the kids, like go catch the ball and do this. I'm like, man, I fed them niggas today. Like,
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? They not lacking for nothing. I just bought them sneakers. If niggas can't get that and he want me to still go outside, fuck them. Like,
facts.
That's how I feel sometimes. But
and because
everybody
you
don't
did
see that.
Did she rub your feet? Did she tell you how great you are today? Did she tell you her king when she wake up in the morning after rubbing your feet? Did you get a nice little polished job? I mean, they don't understand. As men, we need to feel like kings all the time. And the way to feel like kings is when you see your family safe, and then your lady is looking at you like a king. They be around us, man, on some bullshit. And then they think it's so that's that TV, bro. I'm pointing at the TV because they've learned to bitch at you about everything wrong with their life, like you can fix it, as if you wasn't nobody's son. Fuck out of here.
No,
you got a mama too.
I feel it, man. Me and my wife, we, not to put our business out there like that, but
fuck that. Put that shit
No, but I'm just saying we've been working on that, like on both sides. You know what I'm saying? I'm not perfect either, but at both sides, like we have our moment. Shit, we had a moment of the day. Well, we resolved it before she left my presence, so that's all that matters. So definitely, I feel the same way, bro. That's one of my biggest arguments. Like, nigga, I'm somebody too. I'm a man. I got feelings. I cry I cry all the time. So, like, just because I got feelings and stuff like that, and I'm a man, doesn't mean I need a moment too. I need an outlet. I need somewhere to scream. I need somewhere to holler. Shit, I'm not saying you, but I might need to punch something from time to time. So,
every now and then, I might need to have a power from Ghost moment. You might have to grab your girl by the collar and put her in the refrigerator and say, bitch, I killed you. You know what I'm saying?
Word up. We definitely on the right track on that right there. Definitely. But look, let's get to another question. Crazy. So the name of the show is All Jokes Aside, and pretty much I want to talk about some of the crazy shit. Like, so let me know like something crazy, man. Something that was maybe happened or you seen happen while you've been doing comedy, like even dealing with promoters or other comedians or whatever. Or stuff like that.
Man, it's so many stories, man. I don't even know where to start, bro. Like, I can tell you, I got plenty for you, man. Like, let's start with this one, man. I remember one time Terry Hodges opened up a club in Detroit, man, and I wanted to play his club so bad. And he had Uncle Ray as the headliner. You know who Uncle Ray is? That's Eddie Murphy's uncle. Eddie Murphy's uncle was going around doing stand-up, man. And he was decent, man. He had, Harlem Nights under his belt. And then he had, Eddie Murphy as his nephew. So that was enough to bring people in, to at least buy a ticket to watch him. And, I was his opener of the weekend, man. And I went up, man. And I was so nervous because I wasn't in Detroit. I wasn't getting enough stage time. So when you don't get enough stage time, you only doing jokes in your head, and you in your head, you thinking, this is how it's gonna be. I'm gonna go up, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, then niggas gonna be like, ah! In your mind, you saying niggas gonna be like, ah! It don't be nothing like that. So I went, you be in the mirror, like joke one, joke two, you be trying to script that shit. Yo, I went on stage, man, and I had the white, you know, the white shit, man, that accumulates in the corners of your fucking mouth, man. And I was like trying to talk and couldn't remember jokes, and I was trying to smile my way through my show, man. Man, it was the work. I got the light before 3 minutes, my nigga. And Terry Hodges told the security guard, he put money in the security guard hand and told him to give it to me and told me don't come back for the weekend. I went home. Damn. And my mother and her friends was there from her job. My mother and her friends was there from her job, my nigga. I went home and stayed in the bed for 6 days because I had never, niggas don't know what comics go through and why we become kind of mean and don't want and take over conversations. We don't want to deal with shit because they don't understand what we go through. That shit right there, man, that shit hurt my feelings so bad. When I came out of that, another brand of chest built on me had came out. I was like, that shit ain't never gonna happen no more. You need that kind of shit to happen to you.
No, you
that shit
definitely
ain't never
do.
gonna happen to me no more. And it did. I continue to have more motherfucking Black Wall Streets. Don't get it twisted. You're gonna have a lot of Black Wall Streets in this business. Don't fucking get it twisted. Nigga, you gonna have a lot of Tulsa, Oklahomas. Niggas be walking around, man, sensitive about bombing. They gonna happen, man, because Black comics don't have the luxury of comedy clubs where we can go in there and do premise, setup, punchline. Premise, setup, punchline, right? That's when people are listening to your intelligence and how you were able to create a joke. Black people, we work out jokes in bars and lounges, Red Lobsters, Best Buys, and motherfuckers is drinking back turned to us in casinos. We got to tell them turn the TVs off. So first of all, your first rule to this shit is getting niggas' attention. Before you even start a joke, you got to be able to hold their attention. So then now you on stage, 1, 2, 3, what up, y'all? Ha, 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 ha. You doing all this shit just to get niggas to like you because you can't go on stage and do the Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock shit and just tell a joke 1, 2, 3 because they're not paying attention. So we bomb a lot. And comics sensitive, you know, Black men know how they daddy, so now they want to be mad at you because they bombing and they're not doing good. But nigga, be happy you bombing. It's part of the process.
No,
how
definitely.
many niggas get bombed at Apollo and the Sandman come out and drag you out? How many times that happened to niggas on TV all through the 80s? You don't remember that shit?
I don't even want to do the Apollo because of that shit.
Nigga, they had a dude that would come out like one of them slaves who stole the master's clothes and just would come out and clown you with a broom and snatch you off the stage on live TV. Nigga, how many times that happened to comics on live TV?
Nigga,
niggas out here
almost every week
about bomb, and then you can't do comedy. And if you don't bomb, then you're not gonna get funny.
Not true, definitely.
If you don't bomb, you're never gonna get funny.
I feel like you need it from times like, because you know, a lot of us, like I know me, nigga, I get big headed after a while. You know, like, oh yeah, I'm killing this, I'm killing that. I need a humble moment.
You was big headed when I met you, and you know what? But it didn't stray anything away from it because I understood that in this business you have to be confident, and if you're not gonna be confident, niggas gonna tear you up. So I'm able to balance
Definitely.
that. I'm able to balance that. Oh, this a little cocky nigga. Okay, but I'm able to balance too. Yo, he's gonna need that, especially he coming from Jersey, New York.
Yeah.
He gonna need that, and he out there, and he in Jersey, and he going up with Philly niggas. Yeah. Oh, you gonna need all that confidence and another bag of chips, my nigga.
No, definitely. Fact. I feel like I that's one thing I battle with in comedy. Period. People taking my confidence for cockiness, which is you need a little bit of both. But I never been a type of nigga to be cocky enough to put you down to make me look better. I just talk about me. I'm only talking about myself. I never be like, oh yeah, nigga Marvin, I'm funnier than Marvin. You know, that's being cocky to me, even if it's true or not. I'm just being caught now. I'm just saying, yo, I'm funny as shit. That's just being confident. That's not me putting you down. It got nothing to do with that, but I definitely battle with that.
That's your perception. But
Mm-hmm.
from the person who might look at you as cocky is a person who might be judging you based off of because of you just coming in the game. The game has always been based on your time in the game. And if you deserve to be, it's no different than baseball. Rookies cannot fucking hang with the niggas who've been in it for longer. If you just came on the Yankees, you can't hang out with Derek Jeter tonight. You don't get to hang out with Jordan tonight if you just join the bull. So in comedy, it's the same thing. And what happens is you have a lot of newer comics. They get in the room with niggas who've been in there for 10, 20 years, whether they made it or not. They don't feel like you deserve to share that air with them. So sometimes humility, when you're dealing with them, humility got to come before the cocky, and let the cocky be with the audience who don't know you. But the niggas that's 10, 20 up on you, you got to be, unfortunately, mad humble because they're judging you as somebody in high school, they're a senior, and you just came in the 9th grade, if that makes sense.
No, you make nothing but sense. But I know, I'm going to tell you, at least 3 of y'all that I met. No, I ain't going to say 3. I'm lying. But a lot of y'all give me respect when y'all see me, and I give y'all respect too. But I'm talking about
he's like, give you 3.
Nah, no, I'm gonna tell you the 3. No, I'm gonna tell you the 3 because certain people. No, I'm gonna tell you why I'm gonna say the 3 because I'm gonna say 3 because I didn't have to not say kiss ass necessarily to get their attention for them to talk to me like a person. But it is you when I first met you in upstate Jersey somewhere. I forgot what it was. Teaneck, I think it was, where we was with Ray. Yeah. When I spoke to you, you spoke to me like I was a person, not like a newcomer. And then Talent and Teray talked to like yo. I think the first thing Talent said to me, like, yo, where you get that jacket from? I like that, man. Dope. You a comedian, like he wanted to know who I was. So it was just like, it was dope. Like talent, I don't watch y'all niggas on TV, and like I just wanted to be in the room with y'all. Like now the fact that I get to be in the room with y'all and y'all talk to me with respect, not just so much like a freshman versus senior thing or whatever. I'm not saying I didn't have to had to earn y'all respect on stage. I had to go bust my ass and show niggas I'm really funny also too. But y'all, the first time I interact with y'all, it was all love from the door. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I always respect it. But I understand what you talking about when it comes to that, because it happens a lot. And that's the reason why I didn't want to be the internet comedian first versus being a good nigga on stage, because I knew they looked at them like that. Like the seniors looked at the new guys on the internet.
But you can't worry about that though. You can't worry about that. My advice to you is take a little bit from here, take a little bit from here, and take what you know and do what makes sense. And the only reason I say that, man, is because I bet in 1982, when the Gap Band, SOS Band, and all these other fucking bands, that band, everybody was a band in the 81, 82, right after disco. And I bet when Curtis Blow and all these kids, Kool Moe Dee, these young kids started rapping, these bands was like, get the fuck out of here. Cool, what is this? This ain't music. This music. I got a keyboard, I got my drummer, we go in the studio, we playing. Bootsy, what's up? Parliament, what's up? And then you got this one nigga with his arms folded, talking about these are the breaks. Turn it up, hit it up, dude. So the band, all these niggas, keyboard, saxophone, all these niggas like, what the fuck is this? Nigga, get the fuck out of here. They started hating on them. They was blocking them from Soul Train. They was blocking them from DJ. They was blocking them kids from everything. But today, and that's when a number of love songs on every R&B station. Niggas in love. Shalimar, Howard Hewitt, Luther Vandross, all that shit. Now, 2020, and even before 2020, hip-hop dominates black culture, my nigga. So I only say that to say, if those rappers had to listen to them Dat Band, Gap Band, SOS bands, band 1 and 2, 3, 4, Rubber Band, man, it wouldn't be no hip-hop today. Follow your shit, B.
No, definitely. That was back then in the beginning. I ain't like that no more. Like I know I need all of it to get your name up there and all that. But at the time, I one of my best friends now, he was like popping on the internet. I refused to do a video with this nigga because I wanted my stand up to be on point or whatever.
Right.
But we, that's a whole nother story. But yeah, that's how it was in the beginning. But now, like, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna be known.
Does that make sense what I'm saying though? See you might not remember, man, but in the early 80s, MTV was the only place you saw videos, my nigga, or video sold. It was an American Bandstand was still on. My generation, probably last generation that actually remember Dick Clark, my nigga, who introduced music on Saturday morning. You gotta remember, man, all them Motown people was like, what the fuck is this rap shit? And I'm telling you, bro, them kids stuck with it. The LL Cool J, who should be around a Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, he definitely got to be.
LL was 15 years old. He's still living, my dude. Yeah. He's still here. He should be Mount Rushmore, man. He don't have the same Instagram followers Drake has. So you mean to tell me a Jewish/black dude, because he has all the followers and he out there singing and saying my nigga and nigga this in front of all these about 1 million white people, and then he gets a pass because he's half black, half white. In the meanwhile, LL Cool J still licking his lips, don't have half the followers. But at 15 years old, LL Cool J, man, like, was taking chances. Who did a love song with rap, my nigga, before LL?
Nobody.
Can you, Run DMC and them was out here. Back then, you had to be hard to be a rapper. Hard meaning you can't be soft. When Big Daddy Kane came out, he was soft. Nigga was like, yo, but then he capitalized on it. Nigga did a little picture joint in Playboy, went out with Madonna, had a little rose in his mouth and shit. But back then, you had to be a hard nigga. LL did I Need Love. It made other hip-hop niggas and hard drug dealers killers. It made killers. Charlton Heston was in prison talking about he need love. OJ said he needed love. All the hardcore killers niggas said they need love because of LL.
Word. You ain't lying about that. I was one of my joints too. I know I'm young, but nigga, I liked it when I heard it.
When I'm alone in my room, sometimes I stare at the wall. In the back of my mind, I hear my conscience call. That's what murderers say, my nigga. Yeah. Only niggas who kill bitches, their conscience is calling them.
He ain't lying. He's like, I should do this shit, but I'm gonna kill this bitch anyway. I definitely go kill her.
Yeah. He killed her and then had her poster. And when I'm alone in my room sometimes,
yeah, nigga.
My conscience calls. What your conscience say, LL? What you do? What you do, my nigga? All right.
You crazy, man. You crazy. Let me get another question and let's see. Yo, I know this happened to me and I talked about it in my first episode, but you ever had a joke stolen or anything like that? And if so, how you handle it?
I had a couple of jokes stolen, maybe two that I can remember. One of my biggest jokes. Well, I'm a big fan, man. As you can see for now, I'm a big fan of hip hop. So, I used to do the LL Cool J joke from Crush Groove, and then I used to do the BBD joke. And it ain't really a joke. It's more of a back to what I said earlier, getting attention, getting the crowd to pay attention to you. So I would do BBD Poison. And I would do it, and it was always stand people up. And sometimes it would stand people up that I would have to rush to the door to sell my T-shirts and DVDs, and I would make just $1,000 on T-shirt and DVDs because people love the BBD so much. But so I don't know if I could say somebody stole it because they like BBD too. And I remember one time, man, it was a dude named Just Ray from Jersey, and then there was another dude from Philadelphia. Yeah, you know Just Ray from Jersey.
Just Ray, light-skinned dude.
Light-skinned dude, good friend. So that's why I mentioned his name. If I didn't like the guys, I won't say their names. Always remember that about me. If I don't like somebody, I'll say we don't need to say no name. But if he's somebody cool, it's cool. And I never had this talk with Just Ray. So even if he see it first here, it's all good. Because he can't dispute it. I mean, what he gonna say? He gonna say that he never seen me do BBD. That would be a lie. But I remember doing a show, and he did a guest spot on one of the talent shows, and the nigga closed with doing Poison. And I remember being in the back, waiting to go up and say, well, I won't be doing that joke tonight. Yo, it's another dude did that shit, man. Big dude out of Philadelphia. He don't do comedy no more, man. Named Troy. Real big dude named Troy in Philadelphia. You know Troy?
Nah, I don't know Troy. He must have
He was
stopped.
doing it. He was doing it years ago, but he one of them dudes, man. You know, he liked to eat and fuck. So when he unhealthy, he quit, and when his girl pregnant, he quit. Then he'll come back. He one of them niggas, you know, one of them Gerald Levert niggas, like you.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
What I'm saying? But
That's definitely me. Every time my wife about to go into labor, I quit for about a month. I come back though. I come back.
You come back, and he come back too. But he was a promoter too though. He would bring you in, put you in a hotel, pay you $500 the headline. But the cost for that, my nigga, is what was in the contract is I'm gonna be bringing you up on your own material. That nigga used to bring me up on BBD. That nigga used to bring me up.
Yeah. You know the joke you use about the cats. Yeah, I'm gonna use that to bring you up to let people know who you really is. You know, I want them to know who the nigga that's coming up next. That's all. That's the only way I could, break it down. You know, we ain't got YouTube or nothing yet, but
right. Right. This nigga, my intro was my fucking closing joke, man. Every time with this guy.
Like, nigga, when did Randolph get on the goddamn stage?
Right, and when did he gain all that weight? And why he look like Gerald Levert? This nigga would do the whole poison. He'd be dancing, and then he's like, y'all like that shit? And the crowd would be crazy. He'd be like, all right, y'all headliner coming to the stage. I'm like, yo, you can't make this shit up. But I never got mad, bro. I never got mad. You know why I never got mad, man? Because for me, it was never that serious that here I am mimicking an R&B group. I don't have the right to go, that's my shit.
No, I got
That's Bell Bill DeVoe shit. Let's keep it 100. If Bell Bill DeVoe hired me to open up for them, I can't do Poison because them niggas do Poison when they do it. Yeah, so how I'm gonna claim another nigga song because all I do is mimic the group, and I do it so well, which is the punchline to the joke, because people go, damn, he's a 6 member of No Audition. So that's what that is, man. But when you a nigga that can't dance, you just look stupid doing the joke. That's why I never got mad about it.
No, I got you. I definitely got you on that one. Now, yo, so how long you been doing comedy first? Like, how long you been doing it?
That's a great question, man. I got interested in comedy in Detroit in '95. So I took a class. I took a class from a guy named Steve Mitchell at a comedy club called All Jokes Aside. That I eventually started working. Yeah,
that's ironic.
Yeah, the comedy club is called All Jokes Aside, and I learned a lot from that club. That was the club that launched Bernie Mac, Cheryl Underwood, George Wilburn. They have a documentary called Funny Business on Showtime. And if you watch it, it talks about the two clubs. The club called All Jokes Aside in Chicago and All Jokes Aside in Detroit. And it launched. Back then, you were either on BET, Def Comedy Jam, or doing a black comedy club called All Jokes Aside. And this was 93, 94, 95. So the one in Detroit, I worked at the door. And I also wanted to get involved in comedy, but I was too scared to quit my job. So I eventually quit my job at 30 years old, and I packed up and threw my mattress on my truck and came to New York, and I've been here ever since.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah.
So, but I ain't started making money and career-wise until I got to Brooklyn. In Detroit, it was more of a what do you call it? I don't want to say fantasy, more like it was some shit I just, in my mind, I wanted to do, and every now and then went up. That's why I always bombed and had the double-sided white shit on my lips, because I wasn't getting up enough.
Yeah, I get you. Now, the reason why I asked that question is, you've been in the game, it's, of course, over 25 years, almost, if not, 25, I believe. You do the math, you carried it. Okay, yeah. So we had 25 years for you. Is it a point you ever just wanted to give up? And also, what else, how did comedy actually change you as a man or as a person also?
Well, I think that's a good question too, because when I left Detroit, I had a home. I had a pretty good life. I didn't have no kids. I had a couple dogs, but I was bored. And I just felt like it was more to life than just coming home at 5 o'clock, cooking dinner and ironing my clothes for the next day and making lunch for the next day and looking forward to only the weekends. And then when the weekends come, you don't either have a girl or you fucking around with a bitch you don't really like or you don't want. So it just felt like a really horrible life. And then you live in check to check. I'm just keeping it 100, my dude.
You
know,
got
you
to
live
keep
in check.
it, please.
Yeah, so you just live in check to check. So I understand people who out there who live check to check. That's why when I produce a show, I understand the people who buy tickets, why it's so important to make sure that your professionalism and everything is on point, because they really don't have that money. And when they find a babysitter or get an outfit and they give you that extra money to come see a show or whatever, you got to be as professional as fuck, because they don't have that kind of money to be wasting their time. They could get that money to Mike Epps or somebody else. So, bro, I that's a good question, man, because I just said to myself yesterday, if I had not made that decision to move to New York, where would my life be? I'd probably be with some white girl with some mixed kids in the suburbs, still with my job in Michigan, you know, because I was one of them corny dudes, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I was always the one, I was the Carlton in every job I ever had. I was the one black dude that white women loved to be around. White dudes felt comfortable around me, so they would talk all that shit, the Ted Nugent shit, and how they felt. They felt like, well, you're not like one of them. I would always get that from them. You're not one of them, because in their mind, man, MC Hammer is a good dude, but we don't like Tupac. And they feel like, you know, that they can express that if they feel like if you're a Carlton type of dude. So if I had stayed in Detroit, I definitely would have been a cornball. You feel me? But I would have been financially good. I know I would have been, because I was financially good then. So it was like every 2-3 years, once you get a new position, my dude, your life changed.
No,
and
definitely.
you think different. You think different because when you're 30, in the corporate America and private sector, when you're 30, you're like, shit, I'm 30 years old. I'm trying to own this shit by the time I'm 35. But when you're a comic, it's always, well, Bernie Mac was in this business for 30 years before somebody noticed him, so I still got time. We tell ourselves this shit. We go, well, Richard Pryor didn't really break until X, Y, and Z, so I still got time. Well, DL's still out there doing clubs, so I can still do clubs, so I still got time. So to answer your question straightforward, I don't feel like, man, that any comic who's been in this business for a long time should quit, because what is your goal? If your goal is to be a movie star, then keep trying to be a movie star. Because when you're dead, you ain't coming back. But if your goal is to be on stage and tell jokes and get paid for it, who quits from that? The only person that's going to fire you from that and let you know when it's time to quit is when people ain't buying tickets to come see you.
No, definitely. I one thing about comedy that I believe about comedy, the piggyback on what you're saying, you can start comedy at the age of 60 and become a star, because there's no really, it's no physical, it's not physical to tell jokes. You don't have to be, we do have physical comics, but you don't have to be physical to be a comedian. Like, you just need your voice.
Facts. And I had to go get a job. I had to, within the last 3 years, go get a job, because once I had kids, I thought, as a young single dude growing up under my mama, I was like, any woman that had kids with me, she gonna love me, because I'm gonna always be there for my kids, man. But these women, man, they took me down under the ground, nigga. The judge dragged me under the ground 2 times, killed me, went to the funeral, and brought me the fuck back just to kill me again, my nigga. They did so much harm to me. I ain't telling no more goddamn jokes, because I was going on stage calling women bitches, calling promoters faggot ass niggas. I was just using slang, unnecessary slang that could get you in trouble. I was so out there and drinking every night, sleeping with anything that moved. I was out there so bad, bro, because I was just mad that here I am, a young black man who want to be a father, did everything right, and I'm still being dragged through the fucking injustice fucking court system by black women. Not by no white women, by black women. So I was really upset, got mad. Comedy started falling because promoters everybody's looking at me as I was bitter. So the bills piled up. I got kicked out of my home. So I had to rethink what the fuck I was doing, man. So I said, you know what? Until my mind is right and I ain't out here OJing bitches, let me go ahead and get me a job. So I'm not gonna mention the job because my language, if it's associated with that job, it could be a problem. Did they ever see me doing shit like this? they can't go, I mentioned the job. Oh,
Got
so that way they stay disconnected. But the job has allowed me to really be able to get back and love comedy, bro. That's why I always tell cats, man, you can fall out of love with this shit and you can come back in love with it, man. But don't be stressed out over money, because when the money ain't there, then you're gonna become desperate. When you desperate, you're gonna make desperate decisions, and desperate decisions always cause more frustration.
No, definitely. That's why I said this is why I made the show, because I know there's a lot of dark side to comedy. A lot of people don't understand. I know some niggas done slept in a car and, you know, went through the court system for certain things and or whatever, and it changed their whole thing. And some of them said, you know, comedy fucked their life up, and some of them said it made their life better or whatever. That's why I made this platform, because I wanted this. It's not just a place to vent, but just to keep it real for other comics like myself coming up in the game, like to know, like, yo, you going through shit too. You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't have never been able to do a show like this, I would say 5 years ago. Never. Because I would have been, you see, I'm already a serious guy, but I kick facts. But back then, I would not have been in the right mind to be able to bring some funny with the seriousness. It would have just been all seriousness and attack, not at you, but just at, you know, the injustice, and then black women, and then, you know, and I don't want to attack them, because all black women ain't do no harm to me, just the bitches I decided to fuck. And if I had just made a better decision, you know, and that's what's called growing up. You know, you can't be blaming everybody for your shit. That's the difference between police brutality and police. That's apples and oranges. We can't talk about police brutality without everybody talking about, well, there are good police in the system. There ain't nobody talking about the police. We talking about police brutality. That's an action, not a person. Don't bring me no bullshit about person and people when we talking about actions. We don't talk about OJ and talk about, every time somebody bring up OJ, do you hear anybody going, well, all football players are good? Don't nobody need to talk, don't nobody need to talk about football players when they discussing OJ, because they know how to separate him as a person who murdered his wife, allegedly.
Yeah.
But when we talk about cops, you can never separate cops from police brutality. And I think that's straight bullshit. And that narrative is because you and I, we have the DNA to wipe out other cultures. And that's the facts to it. We could wipe out other cultures. You put 10 black dudes in a room with 100 white girls, and you can start a brand new village of Wakanda, because we have a dominant gene. And that dominant gene is a threat, and it makes everybody upset. So they want to, black boys and black men have been targeted since slavery. As soon as slavery was done, they said, oh, we ain't got no use for y'all no more. We can't make money off you no more. Then we're going to kill y'all. And that's why lynching went up. That's why the Klan came aboard. But when you was owned by somebody and you was property, and niggas had insurance on you like property, like your car, insurance on your car, you didn't die. You got tortured, but you ain't died. They say, oh, you can beat him and torture him, but don't kill him because he's worth too much money. You ain't worth shit now. Facts.
Nah, you right, man. And just the fact that you even said that, you know, a few years ago you wouldn't be able to do this. Even before I started comedy, it would have been hard for me to do comedy too, because nigga, I had a real bad temper.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I still got a little bit of it. I just don't, you know, I found the way to like keep it at a bay. That's it. I'd rather make people laugh than make them cry.
Wow, I didn't know that. But you know what? That comes with maturity too, man. You know, I don't know if you grew up with both your parents, man, but sometimes, man, black men be needing real love and real hugs, man. And
no,
that temper, man, that temper be coming from us being just, we learned that. You watch the same TV shows everybody else watch, so a part of that anger, man, comes from you feeling like you need to be angry, but you don't need to be angry. But once you walk out your door, you know, you got to calculate every fucking move you make. I walk in the store, I gotta make sure, man, I want to buy a watermelon. I gotta make sure it's a woman at the buy the watermelon. I gotta make sure I don't walk up there. I gotta wait till she walk away before I fucking buy a watermelon. You understand what I'm saying? Because I don't know what she might say, what she might scream. You know what I'm saying? I'm out there driving. I gotta make sure that's clearly a yellow light, but I ain't gonna run it because I see that cop right there. And today could be my last day on this earth. So I ain't gonna fuck with that yellow light. Even though that yellow light means I can go through it. It means I can go through it if it ain't red. So you got to calculate everything. Then you come home and your family treats you like shit. You know, you got cousins backstabbing you, nieces and nephews backstabbing you, your brothers and sisters backstabbing you. Sometimes your parents backstabbing you. I get the temper, bro. I get it.
Definitely, man. Like I said, I worked on it, especially like the year before I started coming in 2013. The year before that, 2012. Oh man, I done got into it with my brother, my wife, my friend. I slapped one of my homies. Me and my mama got it.
Hold on. How did you slap him? Was it the front or back?
No, front hand. It's regular one of these.
Did it start in New Jersey or did it start in Virginia and work its way through the Carolinas? Because you're a big dude. So if it started in Virginia, by the time you got to Jersey, you probably knocked the shit out of him.
It might have ended up in Philly a little bit, came back across, it went back up north a little bit on all the way out, but it wasn't. I felt bad about that situation, man. I felt low, man. I slapped the hell out of that boy, man, and I didn't mean to. I slapped him so hard, one of my other homeboys woke up in the car, like, and he wasn't even parked by us. He was like 2 houses down parked. I smacked.
Yo, you said started in North Philly. So the slap started in the anger neighborhood, in a bad neighborhood.
Yep, it started in a bad neighborhood, yep. And went right up back to Newark by mistake.
So he caught a hell of a slap.
Yeah, he definitely did. But me and him good. We brothers still again. We good.
Hey man, you know what? I had 2 fights in my life, man. I'm not no dude to fight nobody, man. And I'm definitely not gonna fight at this age. And both fights were over a girl, and both fights were with the same guy who lived literally around the corner from me. A guy named Mookie, man. And the first time I got him good that first time. I slammed him across the desk. Like I think we was like 6th grade. But then one time he got me bad, man. He put me in a chokehold so bad, man. I was just like, I give up. And everybody could see me coughing. I
gotta break the tie. You gotta break the tie. You and Mookie gotta get it.
Yeah. It was a 1-1. But the bad part is the bitch she was a big old fat Lizzo bitch too. Colleen was her name. And
that sound like a fat bitch. Colleen. Yeah. I know Colleen, she fat. Like
yeah, she was fat, man, but because she was high yellow with long hair, everybody wanted her. Because back then, black men didn't love themselves, so they ain't look at the dark-skinned girls. They want, colorism is a motherfucker in our culture.
Yeah.
So, here we are fighting over this. And then she came on my house after it was all over, man. She was like, "You all right?" I couldn't even answer the door because I was so embarrassed that she watched me choking like that. And I walked home. That was a horrible, man. And thank God social media wasn't out back then, nigga. That shit would have been all over the gram. That nigga choked the fuck out of me.
Definitely. Yeah, what's crazy? Even that happened. I ain't gonna say a choke out. One of the little homies, I know I could beat him. He slammed me in front of my wife. And where we was at, I didn't want to make a scene there. So I wanted to get back to the hood to deal with it. And when I got to the hood, so many niggas held me back. Even though I lost if you want to say I lost the fight, okay. But I won. Because when I got home, I got taken care of, But she could tell, you could tell the level of how everybody was like, nigga, just let it go. You're gonna kill him. And I'm like, fuck that. Like but
you know what I learned as I got older, man, that it's the toughest guy is the guy who can walk away. Because to be able to control those emotions that's telling you to go kill him is harder. The easy is the guy that's more of a punk, the easy thing is to react. For Martin Luther King and Gandhi and them, man, to walk and have motherfuckers throw rocks and spit on them, that's way more brave than a guy. And I'm not saying Malcolm X wasn't brave, but Malcolm X never put himself in a situation to be spat on for for equal justice. He talked a lot, but he never made a move like that. And I just think it's far more brave. I'm not saying the king is braver than that. I'm just saying that I've realized that the guy who swallows the pride and still moves, knowing that the FBI watching him, knowing that everywhere he goes, they want to kill him, knowing he's going to jail. Everywhere Martin Luther King went, then he got stabbed when he went to Harlem. To me, and that guy wasn't violent. You don't have one picture, there ain't nowhere in the book of him ever doing a fist and knocking the shit out of somebody. And I just think that guy was far more braver than we give him credit for.
Nah, he definitely, bro. If somebody spit on me, boy, I feel bad.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Listen.
You know what I'm
saying? Woo! For real.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You'll see the Hulk come out my big ass for real. You like, nigga, where this thing get all these muscles and shit from? Yeah. Fuck that. Yeah. You right. We do.
And that's what they were trying to do. They were trying to bait him, and that's what they do. Not all, but that's what they do. They bait you to show that you're not human, that you're really an angry, animalistic person that they have the right to fear and not live around. So they bait you. That's what the cops will do. I think that's what those officers did to that kid in Georgia. They talking to him for 20 to 30 minutes in a Wendy's parking lot. And then they already knew he had a record. They already knew who he was. They already knew he had some drinks. But you're going to just keep asking him questions for what? He told you he could walk to his sister's house. Make him walk to his sister's house or offer him a ride to his sister's house. But you're baiting him and baiting him and baiting him. And this guy never disrespected them once. To the point, they didn't even say you're under arrest. They just went for his fucking hands. And he was like, I'm not going to jail. He took both of them niggas down and ran. And they killed them for it.
Yeah, no, definitely. That was a sad sight to see. It's terrible, man. Like you said, we got to watch out everything. We got to watch how we talk. We got to watch how, this person is here and all that. My dad, I know you asked me earlier if I had both of my parents in the house. Yes, my dad always tell me to watch my surroundings. Like I teach that in my kids. I even teach it in my wife because my wife didn't even have her father. So I show her different things like, yo, I do something like, I hear a bunch of people outside. I open up the blinds real quick for 10 seconds, close, and you tell me how many people was outside. You got to tell me how many people was outside. And if you can't tell me, then you're not paying attention fully. My dad used to do shit like that with us. So I'm always watching my surroundings like all the time and watching how playing out the scenario. Like, all right, man, look, I don't even want to die today. I don't want to be known as a molester or anything. So I don't do certain things. I don't do like, I don't even like taking my daughters to the bathroom. I try to get like my wife or my sister or my mom to take them if they have to go to the bathroom, unless I have to. Just because I don't want people.
You don't want them to go in. You don't want them going to men's bathroom, right?
Well, that either. Even if it is the man's bathroom. I'm just saying, like, if I'm at my mom's house or something like that, I ask her to do that first. Because what it is people are wicked, man, and people are super wicked. When I say wicked, I don't just mean if they don't like you, they would ask kids. Kids don't know the understanding of everything when it means the word touch. Kids don't understand. Like if you like, oh, do your dad take you to the bathroom? Like, yeah, I'm her dad. I'm supposed to take her to the bathroom. Do he touch you down there? Yes, I do, to wipe her, not to touch her in a bad manner and to do anything. People will take that and run with it and be like, well, your daughter told me you touching her so they can get you out of the picture to do what they want to my child and stuff like that. So I try to take precaution any kind of way.
That's so fucked up. That's so fucked up, man. We can't even be fathers, man.
No, definitely.
Every black dude I know is in the same boat. And you live with your kids and you in the same boat. That's sad, man.
No, it is.
That's sad.
It's just sad with the world we live in. Like it's just the world we live in that manner. Like they just look at us as murderers and sex offenders and bad people from day one. They don't even know us. They don't know us from a can of paint. Once we could be able to move on our own without our parents, they look at us like terrible kids, terrible children. I'm a teenager. I'm not an adult. You treating me like I'm a bad person. I still need my mom. I still need my dad. And you still looking at me like I'm out here trying to harm somebody. I'm at the movie theaters, man. I'm at the mall or whatever. You know, just sad. My kids was up the street the other day. I got white people that live on my block. They was saying some foul shit to my kids. I can't even go up there as a man have the time and just be like, yo, what do you say to my kids? Because now I'm the angry black guy. I just got to tell my kids, just come on down. You live this way anyway. You don't go up that way. Forget it. Don't even worry about it. They're gonna the way I believe God gonna make something happen that they're gonna need you as a black kid or need me as a black father to help them with something. You in stress, distress for something. People they go, oh, I need your help. I need your help. But you just told my kid like last week to keep his black ass down the street or something or whatever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm the type of guy.
Somebody told your kid that keep your black ass down the street.
Something like that. Something of that stint. It wasn't like last week, but it was like
what was it? White neighbors.
White neighbor just moved on the block not too long ago, and then like I said, we in the pandemic right now. People still getting killed and all that. I don't need the cops to come on my block and just like when I could have just like, you know what, son, don't worry about it. If the opportunity occur again or whatever, then I say something. But that don't even worry about this. It's the way the world we live in at the moment.
How old is your son?
He's 11 at the time. He's 11, and I had another one at 6. They was together. They was riding these bikes.
Damn. Well, hey man, I'm very familiar with your area. My daughter lives in Willingboro, so you just gotta have honest conversations with your kids, man, about areas that they're in, man. Everybody's not gonna like them. And, if somebody's able to say something to them that they can hear it, that means your kids are a little too close somewhere they don't belong.
Yeah, and that's why I said, like, we don't live up that way. Just come on back down. Don't even worry about it. We in the air right now. The temperature is, they still killing us, but the temperature is like, let's just stay away from people in the first place. So it don't even matter. Come down to your space. They come down this way and say something. Now I have the right to do what I got to do. If you up that way, then the lines of is blurry at the time. So I just like as a parent when I was growing up, my mom could go talk to my neighbor and tell her, hey, don't talk to my kids that way, or whatever, or or they work together or whooping our ass like or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But we
well, you got you know what, man. This is the thing, man. Like this is how this works, right? So. In our country, you have men on microphones who are loud on these microphones, spilling hate. And what happens is you got a lot of Americans that's cool and calm. They go to work every day. They pay their bills. They deal with being able to pay their bills, and they're good. But a lot of them are struggling to pay their bills. A lot of them are struggling to stay off drugs. A lot of them are struggling to keep their kids from being pregnant, just dealing with everyday normal life. But then they turn on their radio and then they hear these people talking about how people like me and you are living off their tax money for free. Or just having continuously to have kids and take their money. So then they start to look at their check. They start to have this animosity towards you. And see, that ain't never went nowhere, bro. Now, see, that was the problem when you would have the Ted Nugents and all those guys on the airwaves and Rush Limbaughs. But now you have 24-hour opinionated news stations that's doing it. On top of the president of the United States that's doing it. He started his policy. He started his campaign by saying, you have Mexicans who are murderers and rapers and are bringing drugs into our country. When you have rhetoric like that, and you have people who are struggling with their jobs every day, who you think they're gonna hate? Now Mexicans. So the climate, man, is very unsafe and uncomfortable. And you gotta really have that talk with your kids because the climate always been like this. But now what you have now is the people constantly throwing in other people's face. Your life is bad because of Mexicans, because of Muslims, and because of Black Lives Matter. That's why your lives are miserable. And that's not true. And when you hear that shit enough, and you see a couple black kids playing Frozen tag on a bike, what you think gonna happen? So you keep your kids away, man, from them areas, man. That's the only thing I can tell you, bro.
No, definitely. We do. You know what I'm saying? We do. We try. I mean, I love the era we live in, you know what I'm saying, and all that. But, it's you're always going to have one or two that go against the grain or go with the grain of their, race or whatever. So yeah, my
Right.
kids is very aware. I make them sit down and watch some certain movies with me, so watch certain things.
What movies y'all watch? What you torturing them kids with?
I have made them watch the movie with the guys from New York. What's it? It was on Netflix. Oh God, the guys that got they said they was wilding or whatever. What's the name of the movie? Come on, somebody help me.
You said the kids, guys from New York?
Yeah, they was from New York. They was like 5 guys. I made them watch it. They was falsely convicted of abusing a white woman, and they never even did it. And they lied to them, made them say that they did, and all that.
You talking about the Central
when
Park
they
5.
yeah Central Park 5
about
movie.
when they see us.
Yeah, when they see us, I made them sit down and watch that. I think they didn't see the last episode, but they saw the first 3, and they kind of hurt them, and they didn't understand. And I made all of them sit down and watch, not just the big ones. I made all of them sit down and watch it, even the small ones, and they were just confused because my oldest son, his best friend is white, and at the time my daughter's best friend was white or whatever, and they good people towards us. Like they never. My oldest daughter got called a nigga on the bus, and my son's best friend mom, when she found out, she went ballistic. So I know it's not all of them. We know what's up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it just, I had to let them know, like, every white person is not like that, but there's a bunch of them that are. And you got to be careful. Watch what you do and be careful where you at. That's why I tell you to tell me where you at all times. That's why I make you call me. That's why I make you do certain things, because I can protect you.
Well, you got to remember, man, you live in a democracy. A democracy means if there's 10 people in the room and 8 people say, let's do harm to those other 2 people, those other 2 people ain't shit they can do about it. So you got to remember that you live in a democracy where Black people are just outnumbered. And you're never going to have 60 to 75% of the country to agree with the 25%. I'll say 10% of other races and the 14% of Black people. And despite what they tell you, it's not equal. It's we're outnumbered. And Black people are being bullied. We're being bullied by government. We're being bullied by politicians. We're being bullied by bad officers. We're being bullied all the way around. We're being bullied. And the reason why we're being bullied, because by law, in a democracy, majority of Americans said, I don't think we should put this guy behind bars for hurting this Black person, because this Black person was going to grow up and be a bad guy anyway. He was going to be a criminal anyway. Remember when that little boy in the zoo, he fell in the thing with the gorilla and he killed the gorilla and everybody was crying. The gorilla had an obituary. The gorilla had gorilla had a funeral, and you had women crying all over the place. They didn't have to kill the gorilla. Yeah. And all of them was like, yeah, but that's how they treat their children. That gorilla grabbed that little boy by his ankles and dragged him to a fucking lake. It was a pond. It might have been a pond of piss. We don't know what the fuck it was. But he might have dragged that boy straight through gorilla piss. What was the first thing Fox News did? They looked into the daddy. They found out the daddy had been arrested. And they said, we shouldn't have never killed that gorilla, because 9 times out of 10, the little boy was going to be a criminal. Yeah, and that's cold-blooded. So when you live in a country where people are okay with that, Fox News, these stations are still on. So people don't get upset about it. They don't get upset about listening to somebody go, the little boy is the one we should have just let stay with the fucking gorillas, because the gorillas was going to treat him like one of their own. Who says shit like that? But the zoo did the right thing. Here's another one for you. Remember when that dentist went over and shot that lion called Cecil? Nah, I don't remember. I ain't gonna lie. It was a dentist from America. He went over into Africa and they went hunting. That's what they do. They hunt giraffes, elephants, and lions. Well, there was one giraffe in particular who happens to be somebody who was honored within a village. Everybody in the village knew him, and he had a territory and he had a pride. He was like a Mufasa. Well, the dentist put a big ass Outback ribeye steak on a fucking rope. He threw it out there. That lion, like most fucking lions, didn't mess up an opportunity to mess with that red meat. He went after it, and they killed him. And come to find out, then Africa and them put out an arrest for this dentist. America wanted to extradite him, send his ass over there. People were crying everywhere because of Cecil the cat, my nigga. I was on trains, and I remember white women, they had signs of Cecil the cat because he died.
Damn.
I ain't never seen no outrage like that over an unarmed little black boy. That was murder over Skittles, iced tea, DVDs, cigarettes. I've never seen people cry like that, but black mothers. That's it.
Yeah, you're right.
So I say that to say to you, I don't think that the world is crazy. The world is what it's always been. And we have to teach our kids to survive in the world that they're in. If we don't teach them to survive in the world they're in, they're going to get caught up in it. It's that simple.
No, you ain't lying about that. You definitely ain't
You
lying.
got to have facts. You got to have facts with your kids. This ain't no new shit. Emmett Till from Chicago went to Mississippi. He was from Chicago. Ain't nobody tell him, hey, you in Mississippi, don't be whistling to no white women. In Chicago, they did what the fuck they wanted to do. But nobody gave him a staff meeting, email, or nothing. Nigga, you come here, don't be whistling. I know she got a fat ass, but do not whistle.
Oh, I ain't laughing, but that's hilarious. He get a nigga no email.
No email, no text. He
Nothing.
hanging out with his cousins. His cousins from Mississippi, they knew the rule. When you see white couples on the sidewalk, get off the sidewalk. Because down there in Mississippi, they was the ones who started the goddamn Confederacy. It was Mississippi who was said, fuck Washington. It was Mississippi who hated Abraham Lincoln. It was Mississippi who said, we're going to, General Lee and all these guys said, we're going to get together and take over. They were traitors. So Mississippi, man, is a different breed. And he went down there, man, to Mississippi, Emmett Till. He saw that little white girl. She's still living. So she had to be around the same age. He was 11. She had to be around 15, 16 because she's still living. He saw that ass. Man, she told her husband, oh, look, colored Negro boy whistled at me today. That white man said, what? When he got his boys, they got the pickup truck. They went over that man's house. They told Emmett Till uncle, they knocked on the door and said, we're just going to take him and whoop him and bring him right back. The uncle let him take him because he said he knew that they was going to kill everybody in that house.
Yeah, that's cold-blooded, man.
Do your kids know that story?
I mean, from school, definitely. My daughter, I know my oldest daughter. I make sure of it now.
That.
I'll make sure of it now.
That. Yeah, the schools is going to teach what schools teach because schools can only teach under the federal government what's allowed to be taught to them. You got to teach them what the fuck is going on. It ain't gonna happen from no school, bro.
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. We definitely.
Only thing school gonna teach them is Easter bunnies and George Washington and Independence Day and Santa Claus, and they're gonna teach them 2 chapters that black people was in: slavery and civil rights, and that's it.
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. You ain't lying about that.
I don't mean to get that serious on you. I know you.
No, man, look, listen, bro. Look, it's great. I mean, it got to be told. Shit, somebody got to say something. I want people not just to listen for this for entertainment. I want them to learn some shit too, or get something.
Yeah, I know. We're supposed to be clowning and acting like play-by-play.
No,
I'm ready for that too. Whenever you bring it.
No, we with it. We with the shit. You know, yo. So all right. So just get off of some of that serious dad shit. You know. Yo, I know comedy for me, it took me a lot of places that I love or whatever. Like, where did comedy take you, man? Like, that you probably think you wouldn't ever went if you didn't do comedy.
This is part 2 to the question earlier I meant to tell you, but I had dwindled off somewhere else like old niggas do. But you had asked me about about when I started, and I said to myself, I'm glad I moved to New York because I wouldn't have never seen the world. My passport, I'm on my 2nd passport. First place I went to was Dominican Republic. Went to London twice, Puerto Rico, Virgin Islands. I went to Germany. I had a chance to go to Amsterdam twice. I mean, I had an opportunity, bro. I went to Alaska, my nigga. I was on a plane ride for 12 hours because the time zones, because you leave from the Alaska planes leave from Chicago from O'Hara. Okay. So I went to Chicago and then flew to Atlanta, and it was like the England trip, because going to England is like 7 hours or some crazy shit like that. But it ended up being longer because the time they're 4 hours behind us. Just like if you go to Chicago right now, it seemed like a long time, but when you go there, their time out is behind us. So right now for them, it's 4:45 for me and you. It's 3:45 for them. So you got that. That's how them time zones be. For me, man, to see the world like that, I'm sure I got kids everywhere, man. Oh, I shot up a lot of clubs in a lot of countries, my nigga. I'm sure I got some little Alaskan kids. I'm just looking up one day to be watching one of them American Idol shows and see a dude with a big ass forehead show up and start doing comedy and shit. I'm like, let me do some calculation. Last time I was in Alaska, fucking around with a blue moon. You know what I'm saying?
Eskimo bitches up there. Okay.
Oh, and now, hey, that's derogatory. You got to call them Native Alaskan. I was with a Native Alaskan woman, and I asked her about being an Eskimo, and she said that is the equivalent of the N-word, my nigga.
Word? I didn't. I apologize.
Eskimo is the equivalent, just like red face when you call Indians. They're Native Americans. These are names called to them by the colonizers. When we colonized Alaska, we called them Eskimos. Ain't that some bullshit?
Yeah, I didn't know. I apologize. Sorry.
No, you gotta say sorry to me.
No, not you two. I'm talking to the listeners and the watchers. Whoever one day when it's come out, like, my bad. I'm sorry now.
There's a lot of black people in Alaska where I went, man, and they got some thick blood. They was out in t-shirts and shit, and I had on 19 scarves. These niggas had on t-shirts. Yo, these brothers, they was some cool brothers too, man. I was like, where your coat at? He's like, nah, nigga, we don't do that shit out here. Because they was used to it. So when you're in an environment like that, your blood get thick to handle cold.
Yeah, they cold-blooded.
They lifestyle is cold. Like, I ain't saying cold as in, like, frozen. Cold as in Rick James. Some niggas' lifestyle is cold-blooded.
Now, somebody told me that. Somebody wanted to book me out there, and I was trying to get it out there, and they was like, "Yo, it's crazy out here." I'm like, "What in the snow?" They was like, "What?" You got
the nature. This dude the promoter took me to a mountain where a pipe ran through the mountain. It was a lake at the top of the mountain where glaciers melt and give you fresh fucking water, my dude.
Wow.
The line was down the road with people with big ass empty gallon bottles to get water from this pipe of fresh water. I had never tasted water like that in my life. I had that water, man. Water don't have no taste, right? This shit right here, I felt like I had just read the Bible 3 times and it turned to water. I had never tasted no water like this, man. And never. It was not too cold, but not too warm. And it was fresh. Then he took me, man, to this little mountain area where like whales come by and wave at niggas, man, every now and then.
Word?
Facts. Facts. Like a little play area. It's huge because it's off the Pacific Ocean, but in between these mountains, it's huge. And every now and then the waves, the whales come and just hang out and people just watch and chill. Like that's their normal life. We went to Walmart and it was moose, my nigga, moose in the parking lot. Just like, you know how we see stray dogs? They got moose and bears just hanging out everywhere.
Oh, that's crazy. I gotta see.
But everybody there from the South. All them niggas from Alabama. They went to the service, to the Army. And when they went to Alaska, they just said, fuck it, I'm gonna stay here. Because of the hunting. Because, you know, Southern niggas, man, like to hunt and fish. So in Alaska, that's all they do.
Yeah, it's hunting season all year long.
Yeah, they hunt and fish, man. Give them fresh ass salmons, man. Take it home, cut it open, man, and eat it fresh from the ocean. Fuck out of here. Them niggas say I ain't never going back to Alabama. I ain't never going back to New York.
No, I feel
they stayed there.
I feel them on that. I definitely would. I would love to go to Alaska.
You just disconnected from the rest of the world. I'm gonna keep it 100 because there's no interstate. It ain't like you can drive to that motherfucker.
Oh no, you can't just drive there?
It ain't like you can drive to that motherfucker. That ain't gonna happen. You have to go through Canada or some shit to get to Alaska and catch a bridge, some shit like that. But Alaska's not connected to the America of the United States. But it's a state. But it's not. It's only 2 that's in the middle of the ocean that's not connected to us. Hawaii and Alaska. You can't drive to Hawaii. I don't hear you.
My fault. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I knew that. I knew that you couldn't
Yeah.
fly to Hawaii. That's a given. But
Because highways are called interstates. So they're called interstates because you can take those highways and enter a state.
Yeah.
Hawaii don't have an interstate. Alaska don't have an interstate. You only getting there through the water, my nigga.
Oh yeah. We got to go. I got to go. I got to go.
You'll love it, man. I'm telling you, man. The drinks, the food. Yo, the dude took me to a strip joint. He paid for the dances all night, and then after the strip joint, he took me to the hood strip joint, like where niggas die over booty. And I went because I went, man, because the promoter was so cool. You can't say no to a dude that's paying you, putting you in a hotel. He bought your plane ticket, and now he want to show you off to everybody. This is my comic for the weekend. You can't say no. So, man, I went, man. Dude, when I tell you it never get dark, he took me there during the time it never got dark. It's 4 a.m, and it's lit outside like right now at 4 a.m.
Yeah. I got to go. Let's go. All day parties, like all day, like it's all day.
And they laugh, nigga. They like to laugh. I got off stage and I couldn't find who I wanted to be with. It was between two sisters trying to take me home. You had the white girl. You had the white girl that was from she was in the military. Her husband was on duty. She was trying to take me home. Then when we got to the shoot 'em up club where they shoot niggas for booty, you had the stinking girls that smelled like that somebody just got them out the ocean that smelled like salmon. They wanted to take me home. I went home by myself, my dude. I was like, I might have kids everywhere, but I ain't. In Alaska, I wasn't gonna shoot up no club. Cause I couldn't imagine my child out there, man, walking around with a t-shirt on, man, in the fucking 0 degrees weather with the rest of them crazy ass black folks.
You got the wrong idea, brother. That's hilarious, though, man. That is hilarious. No, I definitely gotta go. Like, I ain't gonna front. Comedy took me to a lot of great places, but nigga, it's a lot of more places I want to go, and Alaska is on the list.
You got to go to Alaska. You got to go to Amsterdam. Amsterdam has got a whole shopping area with naked women in the windows, and it's only $50. But it's $50 euro, $25 euros, 50 American, something like that. And you can pick whatever you want. I was down there with Sean Larkins, man, and it was white women everywhere, and we're cool with that. We're cool in the game with it, whatever, you know. A woman is a woman, but we was like, yo, where the hood rats? Where the video chicks at? At this time, BET was doing the video. Where's the video chicks? We didn't want to just say black women. So he took us. There's actually, in Amsterdam, there's actually a section with the black women, but they're not black. They like from Brazil, but they black, but they from or Jamaica and whatever, man. And yo, they got a full system. After you put on your condom, you hit, they pee, you get all the bacteria out of them, they let you do whatever, you pay, and then whatever you like. It's crazy, man. Like that whole experience fucked me up. And then you just get up in the morning and go into the corner, man, and go to a coffee shop. They give you a menu, and it's like 17 different weeds, marijuana, the skunk, the California, the yippee-yi-yay, the Yankee. And you like, I thought weed was weed. How is it all these different weeds? I said, fuck it, let me try this. Let me try the skunk. I was with, I went down there with that one. It was me and Mike B. I'm like, let's get this skunk. Man, we were so fucked up. I think we both bombed that night when we did the show. Ow.
I was high as a kite.
The promoter said from now on, his rule was the comics cannot go to the coffee shop before the show because too many comics was coming to the coffee shop and could not do the show. You gotta remember, when you spend money as fly niggas to Amsterdam, put them in hotels, and they don't perform, you losing money because now your brand going down. People don't feel like buying a ticket because you bringing these USA niggas here and they ain't performing.
No, definitely. Yeah, I'll be mad as shit too. That's why I don't like certain niggas. Like, me personally, I don't drink. I've had shit. I don't even eat before I perform most of the time either. 'Cause I
Always
want
gotta take a shit because nervous.
yeah, definitely. Nigga, that matter of fact, speaking of nerves, nigga, the first night I met you, that night when we did the show with Ray, nigga, well, just before I went out, I don't know what it was. I was so goddamn nervous, I almost passed out. I was like, God damn. And at the time I had a manager, she was with me. I'm like, yo, I'm nervous as shit. I feel like I'm about to faint. She was like, yo, Will, sit your ass down. I sat down, it got worse. I said, yo, I feel even worse. She was like, nigga, stand back up. I
That
was
was
like, yo,
that show. That was Ray Gibbs, right?
yeah, Ray Gibbs joint. Yeah.
I hated that. I hated that show, man. Let me tell you, when these guys, man, I hope you're not one of them guys. When these guys have a show, man, and they put up so many comics and they have you as the headliner, man, it's exhausting. It's exhausting to sit there for 2 hours, man, before I went on stage. Exhausting.
Definitely. I get it.
And that's why I stayed up as long as I did, bitching and complaining. I brought some funny, but I was up there bitching and complaining. But I was like, yo, I don't have the energy. Like, dude, to get ready to go do a show, to get ready to go do a show at 8 o'clock, you got to leave at 6 to get there at 8 because you got the Highland Tunnel, traffic, New York. So that means you got ready at 5. So to go up at 11 o'clock and you got ready at 5, why? Because you want to let all your friends go up? It was only 2 niggas booked. It was you and one more other guy booked. Why put all them comics up? Why?
The niggas is getting them free of charge. That's why. I get it. No, I get it. I definitely get it. I definitely get that. That's why I try to do something different all the time. I got to get you come to my room when the world opened all the way back up, because I got to put you in the big room. I don't want to put you in the little room. I want to put you in the big room. You know
I appreciate it, man.
No, definitely, man. You got to show love. You got to show love.
Yeah, I come back out there, South Jersey. I was scheduled to come out there and do Bob Sumner's show on July 4th. I would have been coming out
we was on the same show. I was booked
me.
for that show too. Yeah, I was booked for that show.
You would have been on it with me and Kenny. Me and Kenny was going to bring it back to the Essence to South Jersey.
Oh, that would have been crazy. The 3 of us. Oh, because I booked Kenny. I booked Kenny for my first show last year. Him and B Flat. I kind of like did. I feel like I did 2 headliners. I was just like, and Kenny did so good that night. Everybody was like, yo, where did you find him? I was like, nigga, on TV. Y'all don't pay your cable bill? This nigga is hilarious. And I was like, yo, I got to do my favorite. Like, I got a show I want to do with all my favorite people that came on the show. And just do one show with all the favorites. And he's on there. Him, I had a white boy named Zachary Picker, my homeboy Hugh Brown, and I need one more.
Where is Zachary Picker from?
He's from he used to live in New York, but he live in Atlantic City. He with the AC Joke little team.
Zachary Picker. Okay, I never heard of that, but that sounds like a porn name. That sounds like a nigga with orange hair.
Yo, no, he's not, but he's hilarious. Hilarious. I mean, and you know, I hate to say this, but he's black funny. Like, he's hilarious. Like,
it's some white guys out there that's funny. Then there's some white guys who perform just for black crowds who they embrace our culture and they go in full steam.
Yeah, he could do both. He could do both real good. But my favorite joke about Zach is he'd be like, yo, man, I grew up with a single mom and all that. We lived in, he tell his testimony and all that. And he was like, I remember when I first saw like Raw for the first time and all that. He's like, I knew right there that I wanted to be a black comedian. Bruh, that shit hit so hard. It's hilarious. I just love it. I think it was great.
Yeah, but them be the guys that make it first and never bring back nobody.
Nah, Zach
all the time.
I feel like Zach different. I think Zach he different. Like
we all say that about all of them.
I try to find the good in people, and I think he's a good dude. Like I actually seen him make the call for me or vouch for me somewhere. So I know he's a good dude or whatever, or give me my respect in front of other people and stuff like that. So he's not just a gimme guy. He's more of a, yo, I'm a spread the love for you. So, we catch some of them we don't, some of them we do, it is what it is. Shit, we got our own that don't even tell a nigga how funny you is or tell them how great you is, and they your nigga.
I'm okay with that. I used to want those validations from people that was like the Mike Bonners, he's in Detroit. Some of the guys, the Coco, those guys who were from Detroit, I wanted them so bad to pat me on the back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but then I start seeing that the weakness in that though. I started seeing that as long as it was somebody who said something to me one time, man, that changed my outlook on wanting to be validated. And her name, Catherine Adams, man. And I was in Detroit, and I had just done a huge presentation for General Motors trying to get this contract for our company. And I remember going back into the office the next day and asking her, saying, how did you think my presentation was? And she said, she said, you did good, but Marlon, I'm gonna need you to do me a favor. Don't ever ask somebody how you did. Or she said, because it opens the door for them to hurt you. So just know that you were great and just know that you were good because it was yesterday. It doesn't matter. And it made me stop looking for people to approve me. We have to stop looking for approval. And if you think about it, Black people as a whole are looking for approval. When we are sitting up saying the world is bad, or we're saying things have changed, or we're saying that I can't believe in 2020 this shit has happened, that means that you've been in a denial state of it and that you've been wanting acceptance. And you have to stop wanting acceptance and start understanding that the only acceptance that fucking matters is the one in the mirror.
No, definitely. I've been that guy.
Long as people are setting the terms and conditions and standards of what great is, you will never fucking be great.
No, definitely. You right. I was that guy looking for validation from, y'all, the greats or whatever I call the legends in my eyes. And then I just got to the point
I appreciate that.
Fuck it. I got to a point like, you know what? These niggas around the corner. I mean, we hanging out right now. So it is what it is. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Look, I know
niggas around the corner.
Yeah, niggas right around the corner. I know this nigga. Yeah, so just how I felt, and I'm past it now. I want to be known as a great now. I just want to be known as a good dude, first of all, and then a funny guy. That's all I care about the most. You know what I'm saying? But
I think you got it right, man. Character is everything. Comedy is not who you are, it's what you do.
Yeah, definitely. I'm a good dude. That's what I want to be known as. I want to be known as, Will, when he see you, he always saying, I love you. He show you love also and care about you. And that's what I mainly try to leave out here. Because a guy told me, a dude when I first started doing comedy before, I don't want to say his name because I don't really fuck with him like that. But he was telling me like, this game is so cruddy, they backstabbing, people gonna do this to you. And I was like, you know what? When he said that, I said, I'm gonna show people different. I'm gonna show them love. I'm gonna show them care. They know that it is possible. Somebody gotta start it because, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, after a while, niggas, we get angry with this game and we get, mean or whatever. I don't want to be that guy. I want to try to stay like, we'll always show love. I always want to be that guy.
See, when you are being attacked from a broad area and you can't touch it, you can't see it, you can't feel it, right? So opportunities and resources, like I got turned down from the bank. I wanted to buy a house. I'm not good enough to get this credit card. I'm not good enough to get this job because of child support. They won't even let me go to this school because my grades ain't good enough. They won't transfer from my community college. That's that large umbrella, that large spectrum that keeps on causing you frustration. What ends up happening is that eventually you need to let that frustration go. And what always ends up happening is that the people who you can touch are on the receiving end of your fucking punches. When I say people in your circle, via family, friends, wives, kids, so sometimes our anger is target the wrong people. Your anger should be much more at, the comedy clubs who are segregated, the comedy clubs who refuse to let you play the club, Comedy Central who refuse to give you an opportunity. Your frustration is not the local comic who is getting most of the work and won't put you on nothing. He ain't supposed to.
No, definitely. No, you're
He ain't,
right. You
yeah.
definitely
No,
right about that.
no comic ever got in. No comic ever got in this business and said, you know what? I'm gonna tell jokes and make sure I help out every comedian under me. That's not. What the fuck is that?
No, you right about that. You not lying about that shit at all. Like nigga, like I said, I've been looking high and low, but then I had to realize it ain't gonna probably happen. It's probably not gonna happen at all.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
but you know, it is what it is. Look, man, we've been on here for a minute. I got one question. I normally end it with this one or whatever. It was two questions, but the one I
Okay.
end part of the questions. What do you want people to get from your comedy? What do you want them to take from it?
All I ever ask, man, is people to walk away and they get a sense of who I am. That's it. Because I used to want to get stand ovations, and that's why I did BBB. That's why I did an LL joke. And that's a part of me, but it's not all of me. This shit me and you did, that's all of me. So being able to just be myself, that's why I would have a ton of rooms in New York, because I would be myself. I would still throw in, because when you being yourself, the funny shit gonna flow anyway. But people they love conviction. They love conviction and character. When they know that you are a real person and they know you speak truth, they buy tickets to fuck with you. And the only thing now is, how do I convey that outside of New York? New York, I'm good. How do I convey that in other places? And that's only gonna happen from me putting the content on social media or some kind of special on HBO or something like that. So that's all I ask is people, when they walk away from me, they go, I feel good. I love myself to be black. And man, he ain't lying. Let's go shoot up the party and make some kids in Alaska. That's what we do. And you know what I'm saying?
No, I feel you, man. Look, I know we said it's stupid, yo. I said this. One thing I do love about you that time, was the last time I seen you when we did this show in New Brunswick or something like that, and I had told you I had got a vasectomy, and I had told you,
Yeah.
I said, you said, how was it? And I told you how it was, and I was like, but yo, he's like, well, when about when you, ejaculate? I said, I mean, it was nice, it was everything.
Yeah.
Said, but I ain't for the first time I had a delay. This nigga saying you went on stage and did that whole joke. Nigga, I was in tears. I was like, yo, this dude has got to be one of the craziest niggas alive for this. Like, I normally niggas don't bother me, but then like when they do bother me, I bust out laughing because I think it's hilarious. That was hilarious.
That shit right there, that was, and Kareem had did so much time. Kareem did like 3 hours before he even got to me. He did way too much time. Like, why even book me? But I took that little, I took that little 300. I went to the hotel, but he didn't book me. The promoter did. I took that little 300. I did my numbers. He lit me early, and I know why, because the people were drained, but they weren't drained because of me. They was drained because that show was long as fuck, yo. So, I just said, you know what? Let me just kick it with everybody. Fuck the script. I did no script. I talked about all the niggas who were selling shirts. I went by each table and gave them niggas the business. That shit was hilarious. Then I talked about the conversation me and you had with the little delay. Niggas said, yeah, when I come, it's like it's supposed to happen, but it don't happen. And then 3 seconds later, it happened. Yeah, that shit was hilarious. Yeah.
That joke was hilarious, man. Yeah. Hey, man, before we go, please tell the people where they can find you and what you got going on or what you got coming up also.
Well, first of all, I want to thank Real Wright, man. Round of applause for being creative during the pandemic. A lot of comics, man, are challenged right now with staying home, and they really don't know how to make that money. But, you can't just chase the money. You just got to just be creative, man. You have everything in front of you. Why wait on any network when you got YouTube? Why wait on a network when you got Instagram TV? So, man, I just applaud you, man, for taking advantage, man, of the opportunity and the resources that's bestowed on you, man, and allowing me to even come on your show and kick it with you, man. I appreciate it, bro. I'm going to bring you on one of my shows. And I know we was talking since, it's 5 o'clock. We've been kicking it since 3:30 for 90 minutes. And the time fly, man, because I feel like we could kick it forever. But I know I hear the kids sneaking in and fucking with you and all that kind of shit. But that 90 minutes was gold. Yeah, at least out of that 90 minutes, you should be able to find a good 15, 20, some laughter, some serious shit you want to throw out there. and you got some nuggets, my nigga. Have some fun with it.
Now we normally I edit it up. I normally put the whole shit out there because I don't want to fuck it up. You know, we gonna make it happen. But like I said, man, I really appreciate you for even just taking the time out. You know, you a busy dude or whatever. Just taking the time out just to, chop it up with me and tell how you feel and what's going on with you and giving us these nuggets and, fucking having babies in Alaska and shit. I appreciate that.
Yeah, plenty nuggets and children in Alaska walking around with t-shirts on and fucking 0 degrees weather. It's all good. So make sure y'all follow me. As you can see behind me, make sure you follow my Facebook book. My Facebook is closed. I don't have a page, so fuck that. Eventually, I'm gonna leave Facebook anyway because it's for senior citizens. Let's get that Instagram shit up. Holla at your boy is Marlon Randolph on Instagram because eventually I'm gonna say fuck Facebook. I'm getting back on Twitter. That's behind me. That's that T right there. I'm trying to get back on Twitter, but Twitter seems like it's full of nothing but politics and fucking editors and chiefs arguing with each other over Twitter. But we're going to get that back popping. I don't even know that many black people that's on Twitter. But I know a lot of black people on Instagram, but I know all the old niggas on Facebook. So whichever one is in your thing, all you got to do is put in Marlon Randolph, and you'll find me and be part of the journey. I love you. Thank you.
Yeah, word up, man. And let me tell you something. Twitter also got good porn shit up there too. So I don't know if you're into porn. It's great. I'm telling you. I just want to let you know.
What do you put in Twitter to find the porn?
Black bitches. I don't know. It just I don't know. I sing you something like.
Hey man, I feel like I'm oversaturated and overwhelmed with porn. Like I watch so much porn, like I don't even know what to look for now. I think one time I put in, is there a monkey and an elephant by chance in Madagascar that got like hooked up just because I need to see something new, you know?
Yo, listen, I got these kids in this house, man. I got some kids in here that be trying to watch this shit. I got to take the tablets and everything, but I had to go through it one night and he was looking up some good shit. I was like, nigga, I didn't even know you can look this up. Thank you. Like,
you about to be a granddaddy. You better take that shit from now.
No, I take that shit now. Ain't nobody watching nothing. I got a baby. He on YouTube watching dirt bikes. I said, that's good. Stay there.
Well, I seen you and your wife cooking, man. She's beautiful, man. So I see why you got all them kids, man. You're gonna have more too. And you're gonna find out that little shit didn't work. That little surgery you had. You're gonna find out after that little delay. One little kid gonna sneak out that delay.
I hope I'm done, bro. I can't do no more. This is it. Fuck that. Man, but once again, man, thank you, man. And I'll holler at you a little later, man.
All right, God bless. Love you, man. Peace out.
I love you too, man. Appreciate you. Real quick, once again, man, you're just watching All Jokes Aside with Marlon Randolph, man. Please make sure you go follow that, man. And I hope you could take a lot from what we talked about today. We talked about, police brutality, being black fathers, being fathers, period, and how we've been attacked for years and different things like that. If anybody can take something from it, I hope it's all positivity, man. Just listen to what we was talking about and everything. Man, until next time, thank you and God bless. And I love you, man. Thank you.